Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel for those of you who are new. My name is Dipped in Black, but the friends and family here call me Kettle. We are starting something new this week. It is called Self-Care Sundays. And on Self-Care Sundays, we basically take care of ourselves, obviously, but we wash our face, brush our teeth, your basic morning routine stuff, but we put on a mask, let the mask settle, let it do its thing, and then we see the results afterwards. While that's going on, I'll be answering some questions from the Goth Tag today. Let's go ahead and get into it. Today's video is sponsored by Oleum Vera. I'm just playing, I just bought this shit with my own money. So today's mask, we're gonna be using Aztec healing clay with a little bit of white kaolin clay and a little bit of spirulina algae. I've never talked about this on this channel before, but my skin particularly, I have very, very small pores. Like, I don't really get oily a lot, and I don't really sweat a lot on my face either, but when my pores do open, that's when I start to get acne, and then I have to go in and do what I gotta do to take care of the acne. But every now and then when I do put a mask on, the Aztec healing clay and the white clay together does a great job. So we're gonna go ahead and play with these today. Usually before I put the mask on, I like to steam my face to open up my pores because, like I said before, I have really small pores. They're pretty much closed from what I see. They look pretty closed. I steam my face and then I put the mask on. I guess measuring how much you want in there, I don't, because either way all of it's gonna be used. So if you ever get these products, just go by what you feel is best. For number 1, it says, how long have you been goth? So, I have been goth from my knowledge, from my memory banks, since 2007. I want to say middle school. Yeah, I would say about 2007. In, editing Kettle. If you ever find a picture, go ahead. Number 2, it says, how were you introduced to goth? Thinking back on the past, I remember being introduced to, not really being introduced to goth itself, more like music. How can I describe this? So when I was younger, my brother had showed me this band group called System of a Down, and they're not necessarily a goth band group, but what is he, like indie rock? Are they metal? Whatever System of a Down is. My brother introduced me to them, and that's kind of what got me interested into metal. So System of a Down is American heavy metal. Listening to them, I kind of just looked up other bands that I thought sounded good, and looking at their style and their fashion, I would say that's kind of how I got introduced to goth. Like, the term goth, I don't necessarily remember who told me about that or who even brought it up to me, but that's kind of how I got introduced. Hey guys, Editing Kettle here. So I just remembered that in 7th grade, I used to read a lot. So I remember, besides just the music part of being goth, I was also into the literature era. I used to read Edgar Allan Poe. I used to read Stephen King. I also used to look and read into a lot of Greek mythology, and stories, those types of stories could get dark really quickly. I used to look into the Romans, all of that era, also with the Victorian era, the Renaissance era, all of that type of stuff, the Grim Reaper, what's his name? Jack the Ripper. I used to look into a lot of stuff like that when I was in 7th grade. Well, pretty much all of middle school. And then on top of that, anime was in the mix. So there was a lot of horror anime and dark anime that I used to watch. So I kind of was just gradually introduced to Gothic, but I did my research. It just came naturally. I had a homeboy in 9th grade who dressed goth, like that was his fashion, but I wasn't sure if he was goth. I just liked how he looked, so we can call him alternative for now. But his style is kind of what got me more interested into being goth. He used to paint his nails black, contacts, checkerboard everywhere, stripes everywhere. It was really cool. And this was around 2009. Yeah, 2009. But I knew about goth since 2007. Alright, it says number 3 says, what gothic subgenre would you put yourself in? And I consider myself to be, well, I don't consider myself to be just in one subgenre. I kind of feel like I alternate in between the subgenres, because some days I dress up new goth, some days I'm a simple goth, some days I'm a weekender. Sometimes I like to be a romantic goth. So it just depends on, 1, how I feel, and 2, what I feel like looking like that day or that week or whatever I choose. Number 4. What do you believe the basis of the gothic subculture? What do you think the base is? Okay, what do you believe to be the basis of the gothic subculture? Goth was founded by the music, and then after that would be the style, the fashion. 5, what do you dislike about being goth? Ooh. I never really thought about this question. I never really had to experience something to hate being goth about. No, let me take that back. Let me really think about this one. Well, I haven't had it happen to me too much lately, because everybody now wants a big titty goth girlfriend. But basically I used to dislike the hate for us, because I felt like there was no reason to hate us. We didn't really, everyone each their own. We don't really do anything to cause trouble too much. We're kind of just there. We like to enjoy our space and our time, hang out with who we like to hang out with. So I used to dislike the hate. Another thing, being asked if I worship the devil. That's another thing I used to dislike, because it really didn't make sense to me. I understand like the symbolism, maybe, but if you don't see me doing anything along those terms of worshiping the devil, don't ask me that stupid bullshit. Like, please don't. It's really annoying. And then 2, it's none of your business. Why do you even need to know that? Like, why is that even important? So I used to dislike that. Number 6, what did your parents, or what do your parents think of it, or being goth? As of right now, my mom is still kind of on the fence to it. But I don't think she really cares because I'm older. And she doesn't really have to pay attention to me. Like, there's no reason to hate on what I like now. You know, I guess she's seen that it wasn't like a bad influence on me, so she doesn't really care. But before, when I was younger, oh yeah, she had a problem with it. Oh my gosh, she was one of the naysayers. She was one of the people that basically thought goth dealt with the devil, and she didn't like the dark symbolism of it. She didn't like the skulls, and you know, I love skulls. She didn't like that, but she still supported me and like bought me clothes and stuff and got me black clothes, and she didn't really tell me not to wear anything or look a certain way, so she didn't really care on that aspect. She just didn't like the symbolism, and I guess what other people thought it meant to them, because she thought it, I guess until I explained it to her, she thought it was kind of like some devil stuff too. But she didn't really like take it overboard like how some parents would when you're younger. Like, don't wear that, don't do that, don't be around these people. She didn't really do that to me. She kind of was she just told me that she wasn't really fond of it. That's about it. Number 7. Number 7. Oh gosh, this is one of those questions. Honestly, I'm an eyebrow girl. I'm putting this on all types of crazy. And to like get it around my nose ring, this is really hard. I've tried the no eyebrow look, but not by shaving my eyebrows. I glued my eyebrows down and then I put foundation over it to make it look like I didn't have any eyebrows, and I did not like how I looked with that way. So I am forever an eyebrow person. It looks good on other people though, just not me. Number 8. What is your favorite band? Technically, my favorite band is not a goth band. My favorite band is actually Breaking Benjamin. But since this is the Goth Tag, my favorite goth band, probably the most out of goth music, the most that I listen to would probably be Sisters of Mercy. And right after them, I would say Susie and the Banshees. Number 9. What is your opinion on Marilyn Manson? I am the wrong person to ask this question. Because honestly, I did not listen to a lot of Marilyn Manson growing up. I did not. I heard a few of his songs that I like, but Bam had to pretty much replay the song for me to even remember that it was Marilyn Manson. So that kind of shows you my opinion on him. Like, I don't really care too much for Marilyn Manson. He looks cool, don't get me wrong. Awesome dresser, the style, all of that. He looks dope. He's always looked dope. But as a person, I don't really know too much about him to even give an opinion about him. And the last and final question, what were your baby bat days like? My baby bat days were horrendous. But my baby bat days, I did not dress too goth. I did more eyeliner, and when I got to high school, like I said before, I had contacts, so that was kind of more of my style. I had earrings, I had different types of jewelry, and that's kind of how I looked during my baby back days. Personality wise, I was very, very shy. I did not like talking. Ooh. I did not like talking to people, but I still had friends, and you had to be really, 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 really cool, I guess, in my eyes, or I had to find something about you that I liked, or something that interested me to even, there had to be some form of a situation in order for me to talk to you, because I didn't talk to a lot of people in my baby fat days. Also, I did not wear any type of boots. I didn't wear wedges, or what are the kids now call them, chuggy boots. I didn't have chuggy boots. I was more into anime than goth back then. I kind of just liked the fashion, really. I didn't really listen too much to the music. I listened to everything else but goth music when I was in high school and middle school. I heard like a couple, I listened to like what's his name? Duran Gray. I listened to them a little bit. Rammstein, yeah, I listened to Rammstein. I listened to a lot of metal and rock music, like Asking Alexandria. I listened to Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed, Slipknot, a lot of that type of music. I used to study the fashion, or like I used to be interested in the Victorian era, and that's kind of more what I was like into during my baby fat days. But I couldn't dress like it, but the mentality was still there. Alright, you guys, so my mask, you can tell that it's not super fully dry. Oh, it's so hard to talk. Majority of my face is dry, and I feel like under here, the underlayer might still be a little bit wet, but it's cracking, so some parts of it is dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash this off. This is really tight. Let's go to the bathroom. Ooh, that's cool. Alright, you guys, we are done. My face feels amazing. My face feels really tight. So that was the end of the Goth Tag. There were only 10 questions. If you want to participate in the Goth Tag or answer the questions, I went online. Her name is Vicalyn. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but if you type in Vicalyn, the Goth Tag, onto Google, you will find these questions, and if not, I'm gonna link them down below in the description. Also, if you like the product that I was using today, it is called Oleum Vera. It comes with six different packets of rose petals, lavender petals, algae, the white kaolin clay, and bentonite clay. If you want to try these out, link in the description below. If you liked today's video, go ahead and hit that like button. Help your girl out. Thank you. Also, if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can be notified anytime that I post a new video. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.